between the three of us.
You're providing a lot of material for me for
What was your response to Charlie when he told you that?
Broke into a cold sweat.
No, your response was, does it help you relieve yourself?
You know, the odd thing is you didn't ask me what the picture was. Like, as in, is it just like a... do you want to know?
I'm not sure, but I think you're going to tell me.
I want to know.
Oh, we'll leave it out there if you like. Maybe I'm not going to say now.
Tell us.
Maybe I won't say.
Tell us. Come on. You've got to know. Put it out there and we've got to move on.
It's the Stan and Laurel.
Stan and Ollie.
Yeah. It's the poster for that, because I think that film was amazing. I think you were brilliant in that.
Thank you.
So you may be up on the toilet bowl, but
thank you.
It's a mark of respect.
You've put my mind at ease. I'm grateful for that.
There you go. That wasn't uncomfortable at all, was it?
Not awkward at all. Not awkward at all. OK, so Steve Coogan, come on. You're back on tour?
Yeah, I'm touring all over the UK.
Yeah, fabulous. With, of course, Alan Partridge.
There's people who don't know, Steve, the character, the Partridge character, and some people will know this very well, started as a sports presenter, didn't he? He was, you know, a minor role on another comedy show. Yeah,
it started on BBC Radio 4, and then gone to BBC Television. But he was Armando Iannucci and Patrick Marber, and I'm still trying to wring as much as I can out of the character.
Who did you model him on?
He was sort of just... people always say, oh, is there like... See, it's, you know, almost every presenter has had a Partridge moment, and I sort of galvanise all that and chuck it into this big bucket marked Partridge, and then sort of regurgitate it.
Who's like Alan Partridge now that you watch on telly?
I suppose... you know, if you fused Richard Madeley with Piers Morgan, you might get close to who Partridge is at the moment, yeah. I think Alan likes to think of himself as cutting edge and edgy and relevant. You know.
The odd thing is, though, I think, as someone who works in this industry, I think it's almost become a badge of honour to think that, you know, Partridge, you were the inspiration for Partridge. I think it's kind of gone full circle.
Yeah, I think it's I think because actually, although he started out as a buffoon, and now people sort of rather like, there's a bit of affection for him now. So it's like, although he's misguided and ill-informed, he's not nasty, he's not wicked. You know, he tries to do the right thing. So I think people see us sort of like, see us slightly inept. When they laugh at Partridge, they see like an inept uncle. Well, it's sort of like a lifestyle guru, someone who will help. Alan thinks, in his arrogance, thinks he's learned enough to educate the nation and help them deal with their personal problems and guide them through any personal issues they might be grappling with.
So he'll have genuinely troubled people needing help going to Alan Partridge.
He gives them guidance and also helps them grapple with and interpret the modern world and modern pop culture politics and identity politics, you know, gender politics, gender identity. If there's any banana skins that are out there in the world, he walks over them, slides over them all. Yeah,
yeah, well, right now, in the atmosphere that is around now, of course, you know, he would be a massive liability were he to exist in the real world, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think he's sort of... I think he's weirdly uncancelable because, well, A, he's fictional, but B, it's kind of strange because he can say all the things you're not supposed to say and people laugh at it, whereas if a real person said those things, they wouldn't last very long.
Well, can he? I mean, is there that restriction when you're writing about what he can say? Do you kind of think, I can't quite push it that far?
Yeah, we do. When we write it, well, look, when myself and Robin Neil Gibbons, the writer, three of us are in a room, we're laughing uproariously at stuff and we have great fun, you know, cooking stuff up. But sometimes we'll sort of censor ourselves and think, well, let's not say that, because not necessarily because we think it'll be unpalatable, because we ourselves think we don't want to pander to that stereotype or that prejudice, or we're reinforcing or we're punching down with that joke. We'll just cut it because, you know, the general rule is for me, is punch up, don't punch down. So any disenfranchised group or group that is sort of marginalised, we don't make fun of. But anyone who's in power or looks like they're unassailable, then we'll have a go.
Has that changed over the years as you've been writing?
I think that's always been an intuitive thing for me, not like something you can legislate, but it's always been just like an instinct, is just to do that. But yes, certainly you know, become more aware of it in terms of, like, certainly in terms of sexual politics. I think become more acutely aware of it. Yeah, definitely.
It's lovely having you on the sofa. I'm delighted we get to talk to you more. I've just got to say, for our viewers on the news channel, this is where we say goodbye to you at 8:59.
Do you know, one of the things I'm really mindful of with you sitting there and us sitting here, I'm acutely aware that I feel like I'm being observed. I do, I really do. I feel like I feel like the way I'm sitting, the way what I've got I feel like everything is.
The thing is,
because I think you're uncomfortable in it. I think this isn't. I don't think you like sitting here very much. Not on a personal basis, but.
Oh, I mean, when I do Alan Partridge, I'm more comfortable when I do Alan Partridge because then I'm completely unselfconscious, and also I don't really have to watch what I say when I'm Alan Partridge, whereas I do when I'm Steve Coogan. So yes, there is a little bit of, like, you know, be careful.
So this whole thing, in many ways, would have been a lot easier had we invited you to be Alan Partridge in this environment, just kind of taken over for 9 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, certainly, yeah. I mean, because then I could sort of, like, just
if you were put into
roll.
that position now, Steve Coogan, of being Alan Partridge, what do you think you'd be asking today?
I think he would just be putting his foot in it with all kinds of... he would definitely be getting involved in the whole Commons discussion at the moment with Angela Rayner and making a complete hash of it, just because he'd get the wrong end of the stick, as it were, and just get it all mangled. So, but I won't go there because I'm Steve right now.
You see what I was trying to get? I was trying to get you there, but you're not going to do it.
With Chivalry, because we had brilliant Sarah Soleimani on, your co-writer of Chivalry, which is on all 4 at the moment. That's almost, and you will correct me, I'm sure, not an extension of Alan Partridge, the character you play, but it is another character who kind of is coming from a good place or the right place, you know, as a producer, a US film producer, but gets it wrong and is kind of navigating his way around woke, society, Me Too, minefield that is, and she's there to kind of settle him. When you wrote that together, that was born out of you both.
It wasn't the same antagonism, even though, you know, their crimes were as horrific, arguably more horrific, but there wasn't the same sort of reaction. I think that's because people feel personally like they were hoodwinked by Jimmy Savile. In fact, the nation feels like it. So there's this strange feeling towards it, which is one of wanting to put it behind us, not talk about it. And as a rule, I think it's better to talk about things than you know, there is some short-term gain from sweeping things under the carpet, because we don't want to look back, but you need to look at the whole person to see why this happened and how he was enabled and how people facilitated his behaviour. And by not talking about it, you don't get to the nub of that. And if you don't look at it, then you're destined for those things to happen again. So I think I think the drama answers the question that people often ask, which is, how did he get away with it? Well, the drama answers that question, which is a very important question to answer.
When is it coming out? Do we know?
It'll be in the autumn sometime.
Yeah, and because of the interest in it, you're well aware, you know, there are little snaps, aren't there, of you as Savile, people have got a glimpse of, and there's sort of fascination with, I mean, even apart from the story itself, it's just that how can you transform yourself into him, which is, people are always fascinated by.
Well, you sort of, there's a lot of makeup, you know, when you play it. When I was playing Mulder, it was about 2.5, 3 hours of makeup in the morning, so. And you have good people around you, the writing's very good. You know, it's based on a book called In Plain Sight by Dan Davis. It's a very well-regarded book. Neil Mackay, the screenwriter, is very... It's the very best people involved in it. And, you know, the BBC were, you know, it's sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't talk about it, they get it in the neck. And if they do talk about it, they get it in the neck. And I think, you know, they're certainly one of as an institution, they are held, you know, made culpable within the drama itself. So I think it's an important piece.
Well, in classic BBC breakfast tradition, we've leapt from absurd, stupid to very serious.
Yeah.
And just a small moment.
Can we go back to absurd just for a moment?
Sure.
You don't have to.
Well, kind of is the nature of it. Stratagem, Stratagem on tour. Where does it start?
Well, we started. We did 3 gigs in Dublin, Belfast and Dublin, and we're just on Edinburgh. Now we're Birmingham, Newcastle, Manchester, the O2. So I'm on the road singing and dancing and going back to basics.
What song? I wasn't going to. Don't sing.
They're all originals. I do a rap at the beginning.
Do you?
As Alan Partridge.
Fabulous.
Yeah. It's not attractive.
I'm cringing inside already, and I'm just loving that feeling of cringing. I love it. Thank you so much. It's been joyful
Nice to
having you
hear.
on the
Yeah,
sofa.
it's been good. Yeah.
Steve COOGAN, thank you.